Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm cooking ugali. It's a Kenyan delicacy and people really love this, like it's a staple food in Kenya. So that's what I'm doing. But before I jump into today's video, I would like to say a big thank you to you guys for supporting me. We got 314 views for the last 24 hours. That's a big one for me. I've never had a video going that fast. So thank you so much for your support and every little thing. So on today's video, this is another video that I want to share my worst experiences in the UAE. Some of the things that I really tormented me, I will share with you today. But before then, let me just take you back and tell you how I got the job. So I was still a student, and I was preparing for my end of semester exams. So I was busy in the library. Then my friend came to me and she's like, Jane, hi, how are you, blah 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 blah, how was your day? Guess what, there's an airline that is recruiting people, and it's looking for air hostess. And I was like, okay, nice. And then she goes like, I was like, what's the name of the airline? She's like, the name is Etihad. I was like, Eti who? Etihad. Eti who? Etihad. I'd never heard of that name. So I was like, okay, so where is it located? She's like, it's located in Abu Dhabi. I was like, Abu Dhabi, and where is that? And she's like, it's located, Abu Dhabi is next to Dubai. And she started explaining and this and this. And I was like, so who owns the airline? She's like, it's owned by the Emirates people and this, you know. It's a Muslim culture. I was like, hey, don't take me there. What? I'm not going to work there. Because you know these stories we hear that, oh my God, some of the Arab countries, they're really frustrating employees and this. So I had some notion of that nature. So I was a bit hesitant. I said no. And then she was like, please, let's go and apply. I said no. One, I didn't have money. I did not have money to apply for this job. Two, I didn't even have a passport to begin with. And three, I didn't have money to bribe, because I was having this issue, you know, like in my country, the airline, if you want to join our the national airline of our country, I hear it's a bit tricky, and people say that you have to know this, you have to know that, you have to have a godfather. So I wasn't ready to go down that road. I was like, no, thank you. I was freelancing for a paper called The Standard. I used to write for The Standard, and I used to freelance for a national TV called the KTN and The Nation. And I was like, I'm good with that. I will start my life and I will continue doing some stuff. So anyway, she went home. Then a week later she came back to me and she's like, Jane, please, let's apply for that job. I was like, oh my God, why is she insisting, you know? But I was like, inside me, I knew like I'm not gonna do that. So I didn't even bother, and I didn't give it a thought. So I kept doing my stuff, I kept studying this and this. Then the week for this interview came, and she came to me and she's like, okay, Jane, if you don't want to go for it, then kindly take me so that we can go and we will go together so that I can do the interview. What do you do for friends? You support each other, right? So I was like, of course, I'm going to take you there. So I went with her. I took her there. And then before that day, remember it was on a Saturday, I asked myself, like, so I dress up, I get ready, I take her to the interview. Why don't I just dress up as well? So I went, I dressed up, and then when I reached them, there was a long queue. There was such a long queue to this. It was a lady who was an agent, and it was a long queue. And I was like, oh hell God, what's going on here? Like, people came in suits, people came so. I was like, yeah, I knew this is not my field at all. So anyway, I stood there, and then this lady, she's called Lillian, by the way. She's taken so many people to UAE. She's such a nice lady. She seems to be very harsh, but I think she's harsh because she does not like jokers. She likes taking people who are serious. So when you go there and you go like you're not so sure you're going to do, like you're going to try, it's a bet you're going to do, she doesn't like that. She likes you giving it your all. When you go there, you're serious, you're taking the job, and you're not joking. So that's the type of people oh my gosh, she sent so many people home like, where are you coming like this? You get out of the. And I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, this lady is so serious. But she came to me and then she was like, why are you standing here? Because I was not on the queue. I told her, I just brought my friend, she's coming for the same thing. And then she's like, oh, so you're very rich, you don't want such a job? And I was like, I want, but I'm not sure, you know, like you become a good girl. And then she's like, can you go and wait for me in the office? So actually I jumped queue, the whole queue. I went inside, and that's how I started my process of applying for that job. So we went, and then she booked us for the day of the interview. This was just being shortlisted by the agent. So she booked us for the day, and then the day came. We went for the interview with my friend. The interview was conducted in 2 days. So one of the first day, my friend was scheduled for the first day. She went, she didn't go through. And she called me, and then she said, I've gone up to this point, but I didn't make it. I wish you all the best tomorrow, and blah, 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 blah. And I felt so bad, you know. So anyway, the next day came. We were like almost 80-something in the room. And then we started doing the interview. People were chatting, people were laughing, but because of the problems I had, I didn't have time for that. I was having a book. I remember I went with a book, and when people go for break, I was staying there and I was reading the book. But I wasn't reading the book, I was praying. I was praying to God, like, please God, help those interviewers when they're going through the selection process. May my name come up. Please God, I beg you, I need this job, Father. Don't let me. You know, like I was begging and begging. By the end of the day, I made it through all the stages until the final stage, which I still passed. So I was so excited. We succeeded, like 11 of us. And then they wanted the passport. Guess what? I didn't even know the door to apply a passport. Which door people apply passport. Just know when God decides to give you something, He will. So anyway, so I told them, I lied to them. I said, I don't have the passport, but I had applied for a passport. It's supposed to come out next week. So they took my details, and then they were like, okay, kindly send us your passport as soon as possible. So I started now rushing, looking for where to apply the passport. God rest my dad's soul in peace. He was so helpful. He came from Mombasa to Nairobi to help me with the passport issue and everything. And then within a month, I got my passport, because it took me almost 4 months before I joined that airline. So anyway, I joined the airline, I got my passport, and I was among the last people to join the airline, among the 11 people that were selected, and that's how I landed on the job. So now I am in this beautiful area. It's called Abu Dhabi. Oh my God, lights. I've gone there, I've been given my own house, everything. I found amenities, like they had kitchen, everything furnished. I was like, oh my God, this is a dream come true, you know. So anyway, we started. Now, this is where the story starts. So when you land there, you get, the company brings you, like, you know, like they make you feel comfortable and everything. And then within a month or two, the banks starts looking for you. They start, you know, like they're sourcing for people to give loans. But you know me, from my country, I've never taken a loan. I didn't even have a bank account to start with, you know. So I was like, okay, they're giving me a loan. When I checked the amount, man, it was in millions. If I calculate the amount they're giving, they're offering, and there's no security, it's just to show that I'm working in UAE, why not? So I took my first loan. I wouldn't say it was a bad thing that I did, because I did something good out of it. But now, the tricky part is they push you with the loans, and then they ask you to take credit cards. Nobody had ever told me how credit card works, and that is where you really screw yourself over. So I took the credit card, and oh gosh, I'm forgetting to cook my ugali, guys. Okay, so I took 2 credit cards, my friends. We all know how excited people get when they start their job. So I was excited. I was like, hey, when you go somewhere, my friend, you look at the shoe that you're wearing, you're buying, you just swipe. You don't feel the pinch of pain because it's a card, you know, you just keep swiping. But before you realize, my God, before you realize, you have really spent on the card, and of course the card needs to be paid. Now this is where the tricky part comes in. It becomes very stressful because I have a loan that I'm paying, which is almost half of my salary, and then the credit card needs to be paid. And remember, I have how many? 2. And those people are very generous. They can give you credit card depending on your salary range, very high. So if you're not careful, or if you've never known about how credit card works, my goodness me, it becomes a whole mess. So it kept me like on my toes. I used to earn salary, but everything I pay on the credit card, and I paid the loan, and the bank keeps calling you and things like that. It became really, really a mess. But end of the day, I managed to settle the 2 cards and I was left with the loan. So the loan became my nightmare because before I finished, the bank came and they called me and they told me that they're going to give me another loan. So you know the way you do, like, you know, a self-talk. Oh, if I take the loan, I'm going to settle this and then I'm going to do this. And by the time you get the loan, it gets credited into your account. You don't do that. You start doing other things. Before you realize you finish the money, you haven't done what you're supposed to do, and the loan has gone up. You go back to square one. Paying the loan has been something that I did in the UAE. Ooh. If only I was taught that loans you only take when you have something positive to do, I would never have taken a loan. But anyway, I am even better that I took a loan, and whether I wasted it on my things, on myself, or on my project, at least I spent it on me. There are some of my colleagues who took loans, and guess what? You know, when these girls come to UAE, they are still fragile and this and this, and which girl doesn't like to be loved and be told that she's this, she's that, and she's gonna have a family with someone. So these men, they wait for these girls to come in UAE, and they show them that they are so ready to settle down. They tell them that I'm gonna buy you a house, let's do this, let's do a business. And the girls go ahead and take loans. So the loans that they took, before they realize, the guys decide to disappear. These guys disappear on them. And some of the girls have been left crying. We are talking of loans up to 300,000 dirhams. 300,000 dirhams today comes to more than 10 million Kenyan money. Can you imagine taking 10 million, giving it to someone, and then the person disappears, and you're in a foreign country, you need to pay that loan. You can't leave the job, because leaving the job, that means you go back to square one. People really get it trapped. So the part of the loan was like something so big for me. It was like, for me, it's something that I really learned the hard way, because I never knew about it. And the credit card. If you don't have any use with a credit card, I would advise anybody, don't take credit card. Oh my God, that thing can drain you. Yeah, it can come in handy for emergencies, but if you don't have any use for credit card, just stay off. You will just manage with the money that you have. That's it. Anyway, guys, I am still grateful, and thank you so much for being supportive on this channel. I will come up with a little bit of more videos once in a while, and I hope to have you guys as my audience, because you guys keep me going. I love you so much, and I love you all. Until my next video, don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, let me hear your experience, and let's just share and hear what people have to say. Till next time, God bless.